I'm not a killer. I'm just someone who wanted to make things right.
He's taken everything from me. My wife, my career, now you.
My parents deserve justice.
Well, you're not talking about justice, you're talking about revenge.
If there's anyone who knows how to show the harsh truth behind vengeance, it's Christopher Nolan. Nolan's filmography features protagonists who face trauma, grief, and an unsettled mind. They're characters who have lost their wives, witnessed their parents died, have had everything stripped away from them, and from this comes mental anguish and an arguably dark need to seek revenge. But in each film and through each character, revenge is explored differently and means something unique. Let's break down Nolan's diverse use of vengeance. Nolan put his name on the map with his 2000 neo-noir psychological thriller film, Memento. Memento follows Leonard Shelby, an interrogate amnesiac who is hunting to kill the man who he believes killed his wife. Leonard's last memories are of his wife dead on the ground after she was sexually assaulted and strangled. After Leonard rushed into the bathroom, he killed one of the attackers, but the other clubbed him and escaped. Because of Leonard's condition, he's only able to remember things for a few minutes at a time. But despite this mental impediment, he's intent on avenging his wife's death. He goes to extensive lengths, even tattooing information on himself to identify the man, John G. This quest for vengeance consumes his life.
You living?
Only for revenge.
Through Memento, Nolan explores how revenge is used as an outlet for those who have lost a sense of stability in their lives. For Leonard, it gives him purpose. The concept of revenge ever being justifiable is always debatable, but Leonard's case is much more complex than we are led to believe for the vast majority of the film. Leonard is forced to confront the harsh truth of a situation that he's been suppressing since the incident. He's been projecting his story onto someone else, unable to admit to himself that his wife didn't actually die the night of the attack. Catherine survived and went on to struggle with Leonard's development of interrogate amnesia. Catherine, a diabetic, attempted to test Leonard's memory by having him administer her insulin shots repeatedly. But Leonard doesn't realize that he's already given her the insulin, so he ends up making her overdose and die. In the film's climactic scene, Leonard is shown actively overwriting his true memories with alternate versions to hide the sad truth from himself. But the distortion of reality doesn't end there. It's revealed that the John G that Leonard had killed is not the real John G. The real John G had been found and killed by Leonard over a year ago, and though he was convinced that the fulfillment of his vengeance would set him free and resonate with him in a way that would stick with him, Leonard does not remember it. In fact, he removed the 12 pages from his files that originally led him to John G, making it impossible for him to ever solve the puzzle. And by this, he forever erased the fact that he's already conquered his quest, because what gives him fulfillment isn't avenging his wife's death. It's the bloodthirsty hunt of it all.
You're living a dream, kid. A dead wife to pine for. A sense of purpose to your life. A romantic quest that you wouldn't end even if I wasn't in the picture.
Leonard's search for revenge isn't heroic and doesn't bring any victim justice. It just leaves him vulnerable to manipulation. Him falsifying his memories is merely a way for him to clear his conscience and place full responsibility for his wife's death on another, so that he could guiltlessly continue his endless game of hunting people down. So in an abstract and eerily sad way, Memento inspects the danger of using revenge to distract yourself from facing your reality head-on.
I have to believe in a world outside my own mind. I have to believe that my actions still have meaning, even if I can't remember them.
But Leonard is mistaken, because what meaning do your actions have if they're fueled by misdirected hate? If they don't truly serve the purpose you think they're serving? If they're the actions of someone fooling you, or are you fooling yourself? Let's now take a look at Nolan's 2006 film, The Prestige. Angier and Borden are rival magicians who are constantly trying to outperform each other. The film is greatly about magic in the pursuit of perfection, but revenge is what incites Angier's obsessions and the way he conducts his life. Angier and Borden used to work together as shills for a magician, but after a dangerous trick goes wrong at the hand of Borden, Angier's wife dies and the two become bitter rivals. Of the two, Angier is the better showman, but Borden is the much cleverer and innovative magician. He's able to design elusive tricks that have even Angier in disbelief. To Angier, his hatred for his rival comes from his anger for Borden's role in his wife's death. but it's very evident that revenge is used as a mask for the disease that plagues him even more: jealousy. What looks like a battle of revenge, of getting payback for the attacks and sabotages of the other, is really a battle of ego. Borden and his twin brother Fallon, who we later find out live two halves of the same life, are quite motivated by the art of magic, but Angier is especially driven by competition with Borden. The two want to be better than each other, to be more respected, to be considered the best. Angier uses the idea of seeking vengeance for his wife's death to make it a personal matter in his mind. But his competitiveness and hate extends beyond his wife. Angier didn't like the idea of living in Borden's shadow, so even after shooting Borden's fingers off, he still isn't satisfied. He's enraged by Borden's success and searches for a way to make a better version of his act.
All of his secrets are right here in my hands.
It won't bring your wife back.
I don't care about my wife, I care about his secret.
The Prestige demonstrates the destructive nature of revenge, as Angier quite literally gives up his life in the pursuit of superiority. His "the real transported man" trick isn't magic at all, it's dark science. A machine invented by Nikola Tesla would make Angier appear to be teleporting across the theater, when in reality it was just creating a clone of Angier and dropping the original into a tank beneath the stage to drown. Angier successfully frames Borden for murder and has him hanged, but what did that revenge even bring him? Especially considering that Angier, who was actually impacted by the death of his wife, was long dead by that point. Are you really having the last laugh if you're already dead? Angier's revenge was not about seeking justice or looking to punish someone who did something wrong. It was about his ego being unable to handle being outshined by his rival. And that deep insecurity drove him mad and took over his entire life. In The Prestige, Nolan is telling us that seeking revenge is really about the anger that comes when something is taken from you, whether it's a family member or your reputation, and that anger is enough to drive you to obsession. Batman Begins is undeniably an iconic film that heavily and very clearly features the theme of vengeance. The death of Bruce Wayne's parents leads him to seek revenge on the murderer, Joe Chill. Like Leonard and Angier, loved ones were taken from Bruce. He was stripped of a fundamental aspect of his childhood. He was completely powerless in that traumatizing moment, and thus grew up wanting to take control back. Bruce's actionable way of doing something to deal with his anger was going to be killing Chill, but when Chill is killed by the hands of another, Bruce is forced to reassess what he truly wishes for. His childhood friend, Rachel, draws it out for him.
My parents deserve justice.
Well, you're not talking about justice, you're talking about revenge.
Sometimes they're the same.
No, they're never the same, Bruce. Justice is about harmony, revenge is about you making yourself feel better.
Through the movie, Nolan does a great job of showcasing how our initial reaction to being wronged is to jump to vengeance. Alongside Bruce's personal journey, we too learn the importance of striving for justice over revenge. Revenge is all about fulfilling some internal need to get payback, but the catharsis ends at that, and there's no long-term or greater gain from bringing pain to someone. So what exactly is justice? Justice is righteousness. It's being morally fair. In the world of superheroes, it's rewarding goodness and not letting the bad guys win. So by Bruce assuming the role of Batman and actively shifting his mindset towards bringing justice, he's actually building a city with systemic integrity. By killing Chill, Bruce may have felt a moment of satisfaction in avenging his parents. He would also be taking out a murderer and potentially saving some more lives from being lost. But by looking to change the system of crime and abolishing the group looking to destroy the city, the benefits of Bruce's energy and efforts extend much further. Revenge isn't a one-size-fits-all matter. Characters like Leonard, Angier, and Bruce Wayne demonstrate how the search for vengeance can be fueled by different objectives and emotions. They can also fall on a varying level of moral ambiguity. Memento demonstrates how it's the love of the quest of revenge that's entrancing. Revenge itself does not solve anything or give peace to a person's heart. The Prestige shows how ego and desire for vengeance can become dangerously tied up in each other. Is revenge really about punishing the wrongdoer for harming the victim? Or is it your way of dealing with a hit to your ego? Batman Begins also gives a very direct examination of the concept of vengeance, but the movie makes it clear. Vengeance and justice are not the same, but they can be confused for each other under the guise of doing what's right. Putting your emotions aside can help you to realize there's a more effective way of targeting the problem that will actually affect change. Revenge for the sake of revenge is purely about you and your emotions. Step outside of yourself, and your perspective of the whole situation will change. Nolan questions the gain of revenge in his films. What is the point if the relief it brings you is just for a fleeting moment? Where does taking revenge into your own hands lie on the complicated spectrum of morality? Is revenge ever actually justifiable?